Well done to every driver who's taking part today in the Big Van Bangers, and I'm sure they're set to give us a spectacular show across two heats and the final before we have a demolition derby at the end of the day. So the first out on track is the spectacular Bedford CF ambulance of Rory Adams, an absolutely brilliantly turned out machine, that one, followed by Brad D in the ice cream van, modern ice cream van transit, and a third from the Real Steel camp is Finn Adams in the LDV convoy. We've then got Graham Gamble in 224, part of the Scrapyard Screamer team, and Scott Gamble in 950. Scott's been a very, very accomplished national banger driver and has been really active this season around the country, mainly up at Kings Lynn, putting in some fantastic material recently, but out in a transit today. We've also got Mark Handley in number 12. It's not on my list. From the Nuts and Bolts team. And then we've got Mike Parry in 328 from the Bilge Brigade team in a Bedford CF camper van. That looks very fragile indeed. And then we've got our Back to Basics track champion Lee Scriven in 183. And we've got 761 Nathan Rees from South Wales. We've got quite a contingent from South Wales today, and we welcome them all to Grimley. We've got DJ Tyler in 746, a late entrant in his sign-written transit. So welcome to DJ, who's also been very active around the tracks, including mainly Trent Raceway. We've also got Josh Clark from all the way in Newquay in Wales, so a long distance traveller there. And then this absolute beast, Chris Clifford in 199, a Mercedes 709, huge minibus converted into a camper. He's come all the way from Carmarthenshire with this absolute Goliath of a van. So we welcome Chris and hope he has a superb day out on track with us today. We've also got Grant Doe in an unusually unpainted van for Grant, but Grant's very active on the banger scene around the country. We've got 36 Leon Monk in the transit. Good to see Leon back with us. He's usually in the micro bangers rather than the vans. We've got Jamie Holloway in another ambulance, which was looking very rotten when I looked around that one earlier today. And then we've got our only female banger racer in with us today, Jay Challender in 381, what looks like a Mark 7 transit, a later transit. Plenty of drivers, as you can imagine, opting for the transits in this one, but we've still got quite a mix of cars like this one, an LDV convoy from Dan Lacey. Dan supported bangers in every format here at Grimley in recent years, so welcome back for Dan. And we've got Liam Bowden in the LDV convoy, nicely sign written that one for the Scrapyard Screamers. Those colours obviously very familiar to anyone who watches bangers in the Midlands, the red and black livery. All over the Midlands scene as well as further afield this season. They've been very well represented up and down the country, so we welcome them again to Grimley. As you can see, that's a superb turnout of vans, and we're good to go with for heat number 1 for the bangers. Away they go as we set them off on a rolling lap, awaiting the green flag to drop. And the green flag drops on heat number 1, led off by Chris Clifford, although it's Mark Hanley going around the outside who's taken the early lead in this one. So Mark Hanley, already Lee Scriven's gone round. Chris Clifford's taken Lee Scriven round, and he gets a hit on the nose from Nathan Rees in the 761. Dan Lacey's up in the wall already. That's early damage for Dan Lacey from Jamie Holloway. Already some carnage in this one. Dan Lacey's backing out on the bottom bend. Lee Scriven is across the track broadside. And we've got also Nathan Rees going into the back of Grant Doe, who stopped on this corner. Finn Adams is going the wrong way around the track. We've lost Mark Handley, who was in the lead for this one. Chris Clifford gives him a bit of nudge in the top bend. We've also got Dan Lacey's managed to back it up onto the inside bend. Lee Scriven's going the wrong way around the track as well. They're not allowed to hit on opposite, but I'm sure they know that. He will be rejoining in the right direction soon as Finn Adams rejoins us off the infield. Carnage already early in this one. Nathan Rees is on the back of Jamie Holloway. They're supposed to be he's gone in very, very quick there. So Jamie Holloway he's done very well to keep it out of the wall under pressure from Nathan Rees at the back straight. Jamie Holloway, I think, smacked the brakes on. Finn Adams is taken round by Chris Clifford. That Mercedes is nowhere near as slow as I thought it was going to be. And Grant Doe's gone straight in the back of Nathan Rees on the back straight. It's Leon Mugg that's got all the pace though. I think he's going to be going for the points in this one. Nathan Rees has done very well to keep that one going despite taking Jamie Holloway around. Jamie's backing it up on the pit bend as Finn Adams looks to rejoin in the LD convoy. Jamie Holloway rescues his ambulance back to the straight. It's Leon Monk who's leading this one in number 36 in the smaller transit van. I think things have calmed down a little. They've taken out all the stragglers in this one. Jamie Holloway's rejoining in the ambulance. Already with some damage on the back end of that. It looks to be made of fiberglass too, so we're expecting lots of splintering on that one. Chris Clifford in the Mercedes, I can't believe that one's still going well. A lot quicker than it looked, that one. The giant Mercedes camper conversion. Already we've got flapping damage on the side of Jamie Holloway's ambulance. And Finn Adams revving the hell out of that LDV convoy. 4 laps left on this one. It's Leon Monk who's leading this one in 36. Good to see Leon back at Grimley, representing the Scrapyard Screamers. I think it's been a while since I remember seeing Leon around this track, and Nathan Rees has managed to put himself, I think, up into the pit bend. Oh, it's all come to a halt. We've lost our leader behind Chris Clifford. So Chris Clifford has stopped our leader, Leon Monk, on the back straight. Leon's managed to rejoin, but is Chris going to wipe him out? Chris is causing all sorts of carnage in that Mercedes van. I mean, he can afford to with the size of that. And they've got to squeeze through on the bottom bend. Leon Monk's run out of track, I think. Chris Clifford's holding everything up here in the Mercedes. It doesn't take much to block this narrow track when you're in big vans. Grant Doe's managed to hold up on the back straight and is holding up Finn Adams and is now pushing him backwards. Nathan Rees gives Josh Clark a nudge. And the checker's dropped on Leon Monk, so that's it. We've concluded the heat number 1. Plenty of damage early in that one, and there's still a big shunt into the bottom bend. Jamie Holloway pushing Josh Clark in. Lee Scriven's going again, but we're going to have to call reds on that one. Jamie Holloway's now pushing Josh Clark all the way over the infield. Oh, it's all kicked off, and Chris Clifford gives Jamie a nudge into the bottom bend. I think Josh Clark's got away without any major damage there as he gets pushed onto the infield. Well, that was a superb race, opening race for the Bangers. That was supposed to be where they're keeping the cars in one piece. So, yeah, a round of applause, please, for our Banger racers. How superb was that? Let's see how long those classic Bedfords last. It's going to be Scott Gamble that leads us away alongside teammate Liam Bowden for this one. And DJ Tyler's already getting it sideways and knocking into Graham Gamble with that superb pack of cards fin plate that Graham's famous for. And there's a big push into the bottom bend already. DJ Tyler's one of the stars of the show around here, and he's already on the back of Graham Gamble as he tries to take him. Liam's taken himself out in the convoy, but a couple of spins on the bend. We've got number 26 has taken out DJ Tyler as well. We've got Graham's going backwards already, and he's looking to recover himself. But I think we're all going in the right direction now, which is superb. Mike Parry tries to give a bit of a nudge to DJ Tyler. Number 26 is all over the back of Brad Challender in the transits as well. And Rory Adams in the ambulance, not quite got the pace, but I'm sure it won't stop him getting stuck in later in the day. Scott Herbert's a little bit caught up on the back straight in his LDV convoy for the Jokers, and Brad Challender gets taken around on the back straight by number 26 from Team Nuts and Bolts. Liam Bowden giving it once again to Scott Herbert down the straight. A big push. Is he going to keep it out of the wall? I think he does. Yep, Scott's done well to keep that out of the wall after a lot of pressure there from Liam Bowden. It looks like we've lost DJ Tyler from this one, unfortunately, as what am I doing? Jay Challenders rejoins on the back straight. And again, Liam Bowden, big push and straight into the wall. Oh dear, big push into the wall for Scott Herbert, who's been followed in on the bottom bend from Liam Bowden. And then Scott actually pushed his teammate aside there. 5 laps left this time round. 9.50. And it's 9.50 after getting a tangle with number 26, who's leading this one. So Scott Gamble, one of the star national banger drivers, good to see him back at Grimley. 9.50 is our lead car with 4 laps to go. Oh, but 26 is giving it back to him as a bit of a revenge shot there. But it's Scott Gamble who's leading this one in the Mark 7 Transit, as Mike Parry's curtains somehow still attached on the back of his camper, which is incredibly in one piece still. Oh, 26 takes out Liam Bowden with a really good spin there. Knocks Liam Bowden onto the infield in the convoy. Liam spent more time facing the wrong way in this one, I think. And Liam Bowden's gone round the outside on opposite. flags out for this one. As we brought this one to a halt, Rory Adams goes up in a cloud of steam there. I think his ambulance is cooking itself there. And I think we've called a result on that one, so red flags right at the final stages of that one. So we're going to call the result, and it's Scott Gamble who takes the spoils in that one. So flag to flag victory for Scott Gamble. Well done to Scott. And we'll get these vans back into the pits to give them some repair time for their second race of the day. See what these boys can do with their big vans. Finn Adams leads them away in the high-top LDV convoy. And Nathan Rees in the much more modern Transit on the inside of Chris Clifford in the huge Mercedes. A good start, a clean start from everyone, and they're all away in the right direction, which is good to see. Finn Adams, good lick of pace at the front of the grid on this one. Leon Monk with all the work to do from the back. Grant Doe looks like, I don't know if he's in trouble or if he's playing it tactical and slowing down intentionally. But Grant Doe is coming to a halt on the back straight. These drivers are permitted to slow down and to back across the track if they wish to, so that may be what Grant's playing at there. Chris Clifford gets a bit of attention from Lee Scriven. Finn Adams is taken out on the back straight by Nathan Rees. So Finn's going to have to look at rejoining, and Lee Scriven tries to turn aside the huge Welsh monstrosity, the big Mercedes camper conversion. Oh, and they've all come together on the car park bend. Lee Scriven goes in on Josh Clark, and there's a big shunt up the back straight. I'm not sure if that was intentional from Nathan Rees, but he's held up the whole pack and it's worked in his favour as he gets it very, very sideways on the pits bend, and he almost puts himself in the wall, but no, he's held it out. That is Lee Scriven who has come out best from that, and the Mercedes once again tries to get stuck in on Grant Doe, who seems to have found his pace once again. Maybe that was tactical earlier from Grant, as Grant takes out Nathan Rees. Spins Nathan broadside across the track. Will he get collected? No, Nathan avoids any T-bone there on the straight as his passenger door has come off, being clean ripped off from that transit van.
183, 5 laps. 5 laps, 183.
Nathan Rees has parked it up on the back straight. I'm not sure if he's going to take a shot here from anyone. No, nobody's feeling it just yet. It would be a little bit scary. Remember, your feet first in these vans. Leon Monk gets it very, very sideways coming out of the pit bend, and Jamie Holloway takes the Mercedes out and manages to stay out of the fence quite well, so the Mercedes is now facing the wrong way. But Jamie Holloway carries on, and Chris Clifford's got that battle of getting that huge Mercedes back round. He goes back into our Armco in front of the commentary box, and he's now broadside across the track, driver's side up, so I would hope nobody's going to go for that hit. But the fiberglass is all splintered over the Armco in front of race control. Nathan Rees with a puncture, really struggling to keep that van in a straight line, looking like he's having all sorts of fun, grinning from ear to ear as Grant Doe helps him out and spinning it around on the bottom bend. So Nathan Rees is round once again as Josh Clark gets turned aside by Lee Scriven onto the infield. It's Lee Scriven that is still leading this one. Lee's been putting the bumper in plenty, so it's Lee Scriven who's leading it from Leon Monk in second. As we just check on the well-being of Chris Clifford on the home straight. But it's still Lee Scriven leading this one from 36, Leon Monk, as Nathan Rees looks to rejoin with a tyre that does not look like it's doing the job it ought to, flapping about all over the place on the bottom bend. Nathan Rees looks like he's parking it up on that bottom bend for now, possibly inviting a hit from Jamie Holloway. There we go, Jamie Holloway's gone in for a shot on Nathan Rees. Josh Clark gets pushed to the infield and tries to steer clear of our recovery vehicles in the middle that don't want to be involved in this destruction derby. Jamie Holloway's ambulance now looking even more splintered than before, as Nathan Rees looks to rejoin from the back straight. And at some points in all that, the checkered dropped. So the checkered has dropped on Lee Scriven. And I think it's Leon Monk that will come through for second. It's done very well with that back puncture as Leon to keep that van going. With a rear puncture, he's been sliding all over the place, but has stayed ahead of the other competitors, so he's done very well there. But it's Lee Scriven who took the spoils, so our Back to Basics banger champion for the track this year has taken the spoils in the big vans, showing he can drive any machinery around Grimley. Through to the Simrison Real Steel team and the more retro sign writing jobs on Mike Parry's camper. So away they go. DJ Tyler very sideways from the off, but he holds it. It gets it back in line again, around the outside of Graham Gamble on the car park bend. Looks like a bit of a handful, that one. Now Rory Adams, all eyes on the top bend as Rory Adams is in the wall on the pit bend and backing out. He knows what he wants to do. DJ Tyler's thought better of it and spun it round, but Rory Adams already causing carnage on the bottom bend, and he's actually stopped his own teammate as well, as Brad's got caught up too. Scott Gamble, our Heat 1 winners out of this one, unfortunately, but it's Graham Gamble that came off worst from Rory Adams' antics, but he's not done yet. He's back into the wall, he's going to back out again. So all eyes on the real steel man, and there we go, and he's taken a big shot from 26 from the nuts and bolts man, and Mike Parry slides the camper van round. Rory's back into the wall. He's going to keep going until he can't do anything more damage. This is fantastic from Rory Adams. Superb entertainer as he's going to back out once again on the 426 machine. He's had to T-bone him. Jay Challenger's already spun it around. Wait for Mike Parry's gone in for a big hit on Rory Adams. He's having none of it. Rory's taken big damage there, but somehow the Bedford on Bedford action, both are still going. Rory needs to turn into the wall here if he's going to back out across the straight, and once again he's doing the same, nose into the wall, and he's going to back out. Is Mike Parry going to have another go at him? He certainly is. Mike Parry's had another go, so it's Bedford on Bedford action once again. The two classics having a go at each other, but Mike's camper continues to go well. What a race of attrition. There's very few left in this one.
328.
And it's actually 3-8 Mike Parry leading this one in the camper van, unbelievably, despite putting a couple of hits in on Rory Adams. It's almost rolled that. Mike Parry's managed to hold it in a straight line. Rory Adams backs out once again. And I think Mike's in trouble here. Oh no, I don't think Mike realises he was leading that one as he's also backing out. So we've got two Bedfords blocking the track here.
3-1 is leader.
And it takes a hit. Oh, there we go. Disintegrated the camper. Brad Condon in the ice cream van is taken out of the camper van. He's now going to cop another shot from Jay Challenger. Oh, this is completely disintegrated. Oh my word, look at the 328 machine. One hit and it's no more. What an absolute mess from the Bedford CF camper van. Mechanically it's still good, but what a state that is in. With a superb shot from Jay Challenger, who really finished that one off. So we've got the two Bedford CFs broadside across the track. Brad Crandon goes through the ambulance. The ambulance body came off the chassis there. So these two Bedfords are looking in a very sorry state, but still both mechanically sound. Really not much left of Mike Parry's camper. Can even see over what's left of the roof that's gone over the cab. What a mess here. This is fantastic. He's left quite a lot of debris on the track, and Brad Condon gets spun round by the nuts and bolts man, and Jay Challenger goes in for a shot on the real steel team. What's left of Mike Parry's camper, and he's gone in for another shot on Brad Condon. Mike Parry is hitting everything he possibly can in front of him as the two Bedford CFs are stranded on the top end. What a race that was. So the Reds are out. I don't even know what results we got in that. Mike Parry surrendered the lead in that one in order to back out in front of the traffic, but it looks like the winner in that one was our nuts and bolts man, number 26. Fantastic.
Was it? Yeah. Alright.
And we're good to send them away. So all eyes on track for banger final time. It's DJ Tyler who's made a very quick getaway. Jake Wiggett, who unfortunately came a cropper early in the last race, has made it back out, which is good to see. And straight away Nathan Rees gets turned aside by Lee Scriven, and Lee Scriven himself gets turned aside. He's ended up broadside down the straight, and Brad Condon goes in for the hit on number 26. All the vans behind do their best to avoid. Oh, and Finn Adams does a huge shot on number 26, the nuts and bolts driver. So Finn Adams in with a huge shot on the home straight. I'm not sure who's going to back away from that one. And Rory Adams takes a huge shot through the side from Nathan Rees. Nathan Rees through the side of Rory Adams' ambulance. The CF ambulance taking a huge shot there. Graham Gamble dives to the infield over the tyres. Scott Gamble then gives Rory Adams a decent head on. Rory Adams has very little left on that one. Jay Challenger's got spun around on the straight too. And number 26 has taken the brunt of the damage from Finn Adams. Lee Scriven gets turned aside on the home straight. Wow, what a start to this one. The Mercedes ambulance, somebody incredibly is managing to spin the ambulance. That's taken 2 vans, but they've taken around a huge Mercedes camper conversion. So that was Jake Wiggett who's turned around Chris Clifford. And we've got a van on its side. Red flags, please, red flags. Red flags for this one. We've got a van on its side at the end of the home straight. We need to check on the safety of that driver. Oh, and breathe. What a fantastic race. Brad Crandon in the warped Transit. He's a braver man than me driving around in what's left of that. And a slightly disjointed start there with DJ Tyler a long way ahead, but we're going to go green all the same. So DJ Tyler is the lead. Grant Doe in second doesn't seem to be going very quick at all. I don't know if he's playing games or if he's having mechanical issues, but it's now comes the pack with Lee Scriven, Chris Clifford, Brad D around the outside squeezing through. Brad gets caught up and the roof ends up over the top. Brad now completely blinded by his own roof, spins Jade Challenger to one side, and there's a whole push into the bottom bend. Brad's now lost his roof, so he can now see better, but he's stuck on his own roof. So Brad Crandon is dragging around his own roof and is stuck on his own debris. Jay Challenger tries to help him out there. Mike Parry's got spun around in the pack as well, I missed that. And Josh Clark gets turned outwards as well, so all sorts of carnage in that one lap of the restart. We still got DJ Tyler flying around, so he's still leading this one. Josh Clark now looks like he might be backing out, and indeed takes a shot from Lee Scriven through the side. DJ Tyler squeezes through as the long wheelbase rear end of Josh Clark moves and closes that gap. And Jade Challenger's going to go for the hit as well. Jade has been on form today, doing all sorts of T-bones on people whenever the opportunity arises. So great showing from Jade, our lady racer, in the bangers today. I think that might be the end of Josh Clark's. I'm not sure he's got any more movement in that. It's pretty twisted. And Chris Clifford pays a bit of attention to Jamie Holloway's ambulance. He's going to try and follow him, but doesn't have the speed to do any kind of following. Jamie Holloway, though, now I think slamming the brakes on, trying to make things different for Chris Clifford. DJ Tyler once again manages to negotiate all of the carnage in front of him and retains the lead. And once again the Mercedes gets spun aside. Oh, and on the home straight, Nathan Rees straight into the side of Jamie Holloway. Oh, and a huge shot from Jade Challenger on Nathan Rees right in front of race control. What a shot from Jade. That has squashed Nathan Rees. I think thumbs up from Nathan, which is good to see from our Welsh visitor. And again, oh my word, Grant Doe goes straight in and collects Mike Parry as well. Grant Doe straight into the back of Nathan Rees. He's ripped the axle out of the bottom of that Transit. What a wreck. What's DJ Tyler going to do here? Oh, that's a huge one through the side of Grant Doe. To take the checkered, I think that was over the line. That DJ Tyler has gone in as high as he liked. Nathan Rees takes another from Jamie Holloway. Nathan Rees took absolutely every form of punishment there in what's left of that Transit van. What an end to the final. Wow, okay. So that was absolutely spectacular end to the banger final. Nathan Rees in that Transit van getting absolutely annihilated. Took 3 huge shots, one from Jade Challenger which got airtime as it went in. I did see that right in front of me there. Grant Doe went in for the kill. Absolutely fantastic. And in fact, it's taken a chunk out of our track. So hard was that shot that there's tarmac ripped up from our racetrack. What an end. What an end to that event. Wow. Behind the wooden fence for this one. Anything can happen. We've got a lot of fiberglass that could go anywhere in this race. So don't be too close to that catch fence. We need you behind the wooden rails. Final preparations then, and away we go. The green flag drops and Finn Adams slaps it in reverse, as does Jake Wiggett, so they're all in reverse. Obviously a clever tactic in this with the engines at the front. Backing out is the way to preserve your vehicle, so a lot of them backing up, trying to kill their opponents early on in this one, and then we've got a big push all down the home straight with Chris Clifford getting turned aside, and Finn Adams does then get turned aside on the bottom bend. Big slide from Jake Wiggett on this bend, on the car park bend, but it's all happening on the car park bend, down the bottom end. Big pile up, Jamie Holloway's gone in, there's going to be a huge push. Oh my word, Jake Wiggett Wigger's gone in at quite a pace after a push from one of the Gambles there. From Scott Gamble, he got pushed in very, very fast. We need to check on his well-being because that was very, very quick into that bottom bend. Lee Scriven now passes the pile-up, preserving it for another lap or so, but that was a huge, huge push from Scott Gamble, pushing Jake Wigger off the Jokers into the bottom bend. Now Lee Scriven's come under attack and has been pushed into the top bend plating by Graham Gamble, who has an absolute turn of speed left in that transit. Graham Gamble's absolutely flying in that one. And it looks like Lee Scriven's now decided to back it up, or not. No, he's thought better of it. Okay, Graham Gamble spun it round and is going after... Oh, hello, big shot, and Brad Crandon almost open over in his wreck of a transit. Not sure how he kept that on all fours there. We've got Grant O giving Scott Gamble a bit of a push as well on the pit bend, so the Scrapyard Screamers already starting to have a little bit of a play with each other in this one. I think it might be the end of Brad Crandon's ice cream ban, unfortunately. Not surprising with the state of that. Lee Scriven slams the brakes on Graham Gamble, hoping that someone's going to collect Graham, but the Scrapyard Screamers behind have already saw themselves out. Leon Monk goes in for the shot. There we go. Leon Monk, our only race winner, goes in for a shot on teammate Graham Gamble in the transits. What have we got left running here? We've got Lee Scriven. It's all Scrapyard Screamers, I believe, left running in this one. As predicted, they are absolute experts in demolition derbies. We've got two Gambles. We've got Leon Monk. We've got Grando backing it up into Graham Gamble, and we've got Lee Scriven in the Iveco. Don't let the unpainted livery fool you. They are all Scrapyard Screamers, so they're teammates. Not much life in many of these now after a spectacular start to the Demolition Derby. Grando looks like the one with the most grunt still left, and I think he's going to have to start backing into people if he's going to stop Lee Scriven. Oh, Brad Crandon's still going. Brad Crandon's going once again, and it's going to take a head on. After 5 minutes of sitting there trying to start it, he gets a head on, crawls 6 feet, and then takes a head on from Grando. And now Lee Scriven's going to come around and take a hit. Oh, big head on there between the Grando and the huge Iveco against the much smaller wreck of Brad Crandon's ice cream van. Fair play to Brad for even trying to get that going again. There's still a huge turn of speed for Graham Gamble. He's absolutely flying in that transit. I don't want to be on the receiving end of that, and he's gone in on the bottom bend on Grando. Through the side of Grando on the car park bend. I think that might have killed it. Does that leave Lee Scriven with the only power? I believe it does, although no, Scott Gamble also still going well. Brad Crandon's still trying to limp that truck back onto track, and I think Brad is going to keep going. But Scott Gamble it is that goes down on the bottom bend and attacks the back of Graham's transit. They were both still going. Fantastic. So we've got 4 still going, I believe. Lee Scriven's come a cropper as he's hit the dead Finn Adams car, and the passenger doors open on Grando as he's kind of coming together with Graham Gamble on the pit bend too. So who do we have left running at all? Scott Gamble seems to have come to a bit of a pause on the bottom bend. I'm not sure if that was after contact or not. Lee Scriven's still going and still has movement as he backs up the straight with his warped Iveco truck. Can he use his mirrors to back into Lee? I think Grant's got the same idea, so Grant parks up in front of him and he's going to back up. Oh, there we go. As I say, reversing is a common strategy in the vans, as obviously the back end has nothing too important. And another, oh hello, big shot, reversing up, and Brad Crandon's now going and is going to go for the head on. Fair play to Brad for even keeping that twisted chassis going. How that's still driving, I don't know. But it looks like Grando's the one with the most muscle left in this one. I think he may have killed off Lee Scriven's Iveco. And, oh, we've got Jay Challenger going again in the transit. She's escaped the pile-up on the bottom bend and is going again. So, oh, maybe this isn't over after all. Brad Crandon goes for a shot on Lee Scriven. I'm really hoping nobody hits the back end of Brad's, because that's not going to take any punishment. They chose not to go for the head on there on the back straight between Grando and Jay Challenger. If Jade's going to go for a hit on Brad, that is going to snap badly. So we'll see what Jade decides to do on the back straight. I think she's being told don't go for Brad, because that would be a very bad hit indeed. So they're going to go for the head-on. There we go, head-on between Jade Challenger and Grando. Oh, I'm just realising I don't think it is Jade in there. I think it's Brad. I think it's actually Brad Challenger in there anyway, but he's taken another hit from Grant, who pushes him all down the back straight. So it wasn't in fact Jade in there all along, it was brother Brad. And Grando bins it into the stationary Finn Adams wreck. And I think we're calling it, it's going to be Grando after a prolonged DD there. A lot of cars lasting a lot of time, a lot of vans lasting a long time in that one. Round of applause then, please, for all of our drivers taking part in our Demolition Derby. A superb showing, won by Grando 181, who comes round on his lap of honour.